Tanner's pick this week, which was the 1917 film from 2019.
That's right, 1917. It is the story of World War I. Fun fact, over 5,200 feet of trenches were built for this movie.
Fascinating.
Okay. They should have CGI'd them. They're stupid for that.
Yeah.
Nico, how did you like the movie?
You know, I thought that this was an alright sort of little flick. I can definitely tell it's a bit Oscar baity, but at the same time, you know, it was still alright. I enjoyed how it rhymed, you know? In the beginning of the film, they're walking away from a tree. At the end of the film, they're walking towards a tree.
Yeah, they do what you'd like expect a good movie to do for a lot of it. I think it's very visually compelling. I think more than anything, this is a visual movie. Yeah. Just especially since they kind of stick with the gimmick of, oh, it's a one shot.
Which I'd like to get your guys' take on that. How do you feel about the one shot?
I think it limits the movie's potential, and they literally don't even stick to it. There's a bunch of really obvious cuts that took me out of it. Like, you know, the most blatant one is when he gets fucking knocked down the stairs after getting shot. It's just like objectively a cut. They could have done so much with that scene, and they just didn't. And there's a lot of, like, you know, passing by rocks and shit. Granted, I realized why they did it. I think it's a cool idea, but I don't think it worked in this movie personally.
And what was the idea behind that, Jackson? Why'd they do it?
Because it looks cool and it's unique.
Oh, okay.
It's just like a fun thing to sell the movie on.
You're talking about, I thought you were saying, like, I know why they did the cut there, because it ended up looking cool.
No.
Okay.
No.
Gotcha.
They would have kept it all as, like, totally one shot if they could, but that's just, like, unfeasible. But yeah, I think it limits it. I think it acts pretty goofy all the time. Like, the fucking, holy shit, the whiplash from when his fucking buddy dies from getting stabbed, and then they just, like, there's just a battalion or squad that comes up, and it's just like it's just crazy.
Yeah,
that type of shit. And there's a lot of like it just moves too quickly, and it seems fucking weird and unbelievable because of it. Like, this wouldn't have been a problem if they just chose to film this movie normally, and they didn't, because they had to keep up this interesting way of doing it, and it limited it a lot and forced scenes to be lesser than what they could have been.
I am happy to hear that from you. I was fully expecting to be like, yeah, it's crazy that they did this. Like, think of all the prep work they had to do for, like, this stuff. Like, I think it's neat to do it, but, like, I don't really give it any flowers beyond that. It's like, yeah, I think that I would have preferred it to be shot normally.
Yeah, legitimately, I don't think they even really utilize the effect super often, like to like its fullest extent. Like, I think they could be an interesting technique to use, obviously in a lesser scale in some moments. Like, I think the effect worked a lot, like, really well when he was trying to get to the commander at, like, that last scene when he was, like, pushing through the crowd and, like, running on the field. I think it worked a lot well then, because you're, like, following him in an interesting way. But a lot of them, it just seems like they're just doing it to just keep doing it, and it just feels kind of dumb and bad. Like, when he's fucking, like, trying to get across the river, he's getting, like, shot at, and, like, this feels kind of stupid. I don't know, I just don't think it really worked that well, personally.
Yeah, I agree. They didn't need to do it the entire movie. I think, like, even, like, you could just do it, like, oh, anytime he's, like, literally in a trench, that's when we're doing one-shots or whatever. Something, like, tie it to the environment or something. I agree, they didn't need to do it the whole time. And also, like you said, when he gets knocked out, it's like, okay, we're not even pretending to be doing the thing anymore now. And again, I get why they did that, because, like, oh, we need to pass time. Fuck.
They could have done the passage of time in an interesting way, though. Like, I watched a review of it, and their solution to it I actually agree with a lot. They could have just, like, shown him on the staircase, for example, and then, like, maybe play with the light and have, like, you know, you can see the fucking sun setting, for example, and see, like, the light flicker out on him and then come back up when the fires start. That could have been an interesting way of, like, presenting what's going on in the story and keep up with the theme, and they just don't fucking do it. They just fade to black and then fade back in, and it looks like shit.
That's the exact thing that went through my mind as well for that. I'm assuming that, like, maybe they were like, oh, people will be confused, they won't understand, they'll think it just immediately happened or some shit like that. Who knows, though?
If people want to be stupid, that's their prerogative, I guess. Let's see. One set piece I think was fucking awesome was those ruins that are getting lit up by the fucking flares. Yeah, that shit looked awesome. I don't know how compelling the action for that scene was, but like just visually, I'm like, damn, this looks like something I haven't seen in a movie before, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I do think that was a very pretty scene. Unfortunately, like you alluded to, I don't think the action worked in this. And it kind of leads into another one of my big criticisms with this movie is, holy shit, the fucking main character has main character energy and he just, like, cannot be killed. Yeah. Holy shit. He's just a fucking bullet dodger, man. He's in the Matrix. He just, like, it's just insane how he lived for so long. Like, he's getting pursued by many people and they just can't fucking hit him. He jumped into white water and doesn't immediately fucking drown like it's crazy. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and like a lot of the times, like when he was running through those ruins too, he was just like running in a straight line. Like he wasn't really seemingly trying to dodge all that much, which is just very bizarre.
That didn't take me out of it too much, just because I was able to go like, you know, it's World War II weapons. Sure.
It definitely took me out of it. This is fucking stupid.
Do you guys have any idea like how many times they had to like reshoot this film? Like when it's like, oh fuck, this person screwed up their line. Okay, let's from the top.
No, I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah, no clue.
I'd be interested to see because it's like for some things are within your control. It's like okay, yeah. Well, like you know, just like really make sure you memorize your lines and stuff like that, you know. But like for other things, it's like, what do they do if the baby is just freaking out and will not cooperate with the scene? Like, do they say, oh, well, I guess we're going to have to take it from the top again. The baby's crying, even though this is supposed to be a nice emotional moment where she's like, oh, she really seems to like you.
Yeah, I don't know. I do remember reading that the longest, like, actual continuous uncut shot was 18 minutes.
Okay.
Props,
which is impressive.
That's a very long shot.
I didn't notice too much stupid like flubs with it being a one shot. I did note that one of them was when in the big finale scene where he's running across the field and he like runs into a guy and the guy falls to the ground and then just doesn't get up. Like
he died, dude. He had a fucking heart attack.
Yeah, exactly. And what's weird is he bumps into a second guy and that guy does get up and keep running. So I'm like, What is that?
Listen, if I was that guy, I would have just lied on the ground too. Okay.
He's like, cool.
I don't have to be cannon fodder anymore. Oh no.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, Sarge. I got hit right at the beginning. That's crazy. Story-wise, I think story very simple. There's danger far away. Here's a time limit. A family member is involved. Go. But it's effective. It's not winning any writing awards, but, it's an effective story of like, okay, here's why we need to go a place and here's why I should personally care.
Yeah.
Personally, I wish he hustled more because I don't really feel like I felt the pressure of time as much as they were trying to make us feel the time limit. Specifically, I think the biggest scene that drew me out of that was when he just like goes and fucks around with that wife and her baby for a bit. Like I know he was like trying to seek cover for a second, but like, bro, you're on a fucking timeline, man. Get it moving. Like I was chasing, he was clearly incompetent. He ate shit. He fucking whipped 5 shots on you at point blank range. Come on.
Yeah, I agree. I think the only time I really felt the pressure of like the time was literally like right at the end when he was like actually where the battle was about to take place. It was like, oh, okay, this was serious. Yeah, he does really need to start hurrying.
Yeah. I thought the performances were really good. I really liked. In fact, I'd even go, especially like the side characters, like Benedict Cumberbatch, popping in here to
when
be.
He fucking came at the very end. I was so shocked. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing in this shit?" At the very end, like the most minor character ever. He's just some fucking dude.
He's an important character.
Well, I know, but like in the grand scheme of the movie, he's not really. Like he's the guy, the objective, but he was in the movie for fucking 2 minutes. So who cares?
Yeah.
Very fun. I thought he did a great performance, though, for, those 2 minutes where it's like, yeah, this is the dickhead general that just wants to fight.
Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't even know who the main character was until the fucking guy died, and then I figured it out. I think the dude that got stabbed did a good job. Honestly, I feel like the movie was a lot stronger before that fucker died. Once it was the dude solo, I think it started waning on me, because I think like the first half an hour, I would say, was a lot more engaging, personally, and then it started falling on me. Except for the rat scene. That shit looked dumb as fuck. Holy fuck, that rat looks so bad. And when it started fucking holding on to the stupid thing hanging, I was like, I know exactly what's gonna happen, and it happened. Like, that's so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
That rat looks so bad. Oh my god.
They definitely could have set that off more organically.
It felt like a fucking comedy sketch I was watching. Like, oh no, the rat's gonna drag the thing into the fucking trip mine. Hey, look at the trip mine. Oh no, the rat. Oh no. I was laughing at that person. I could not take it seriously.
Yeah, that was pretty goofy.
His buddy getting stabbed from the fucking pilot had to be busting to gut as well. That shit was goofy as hell to me too.
Yeah.
Like he turns his back to go get the guy some water and he got fucking stabbed by him. I was like,
Right.
Yeah. Also, when he told his brother he died quick, I'm like, he didn't.
No, he suffered. He bled out from being stabbed in the stomach.
Yeah, that shit was brutal. Me when I lie.
Yeah, I mean he's just trying to help out the brother.
Yeah, of course. Like, Tanner, if your brother fucking died in someone's arms, would you really want them to tell you, yeah, he really suffered in his death? It was not pretty at all.
You don't need to phrase it that way, but I'd probably want to know the details.
Yeah, he was fucking gutted and skinned, flayed even, and left suffering in a pit of acid for 10 days.
Damn, that's crazy, dude.
I do think the scene where he met with the brother was well done. I did feel the emotional impact of it, even though I didn't particularly care for it at that point. I was pretty uninvested with the movie. But I do like that final scene. I don't particularly like the way he finds the brother, just like, oh, there he is. But, I do think him reconciling with him was good.
Yeah.
Honestly, I am glad to hear all this. I thought I was going to come into this being a fucking hater, but...
Honestly, Sam, I expected to come into this and you guys are going to be like, this movie's fucking sick, love the technique, and I was
Did you see that it was a one-shot? That was crazy.
I wanted to pick Dylan's brain and see if he noticed that shit. I guess we'll never know.
Here, I'll pretend to be Dylan. You ask me about that.
Did you notice any cool film technique they used in this, Tanner? Dylan?
I mean... I guess they kind of, were shooting from behind them a lot. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, awesome. You got it. Congrats.
If you want to hear Dylan's more in-depth thoughts, we're going to hear it right now.
Alright, so this is going to be my review of 1917. And I'm going to do my best to recall... I do remember this movie being very good. I did like the cinematography. I really liked how this movie was shot. I'm also just a big sucker for kind of just any older, World War II, World War I movies. And I think this movie had a really interesting take on events. Now, this was a very, very slow-paced movie, and there wasn't a ton going on, but I think the way that the movie was keeping it interesting with its environments, the environments were really good, and I think adding more emotion to the story was also a big benefit. One thing I thought was a little bit of a weird call, and this was just me, maybe it's just my wanting people to survive, I don't really know, but I think killing the dude's brother so early on in the movie was kind of a weird call. I think it probably would have been fine if they had done it at some point, but having it done that early was just a little out of the blue, kind of, in a way. I feel like this movie could have benefited from a little more camaraderie throughout the whole thing. I do like the whole lone wolf, lone ranger thing, this guy going around and fulfilling the mission. But I mean, I think regardless, this movie still could have benefited from even both of them making it to the very end. I don't know, there were those points of emotion where they were trying to invoke it, which I'm not saying they didn't do that, but it kind of just felt missed. But other than that, yeah, I think this movie's very beautifully shot. I think that the acting was fairly good. It was really funny seeing Benedict Cumberbatch in this movie. It's very interesting, funny role to see him fulfill, but regardless, but yeah, I really liked this movie a decent bit. Like I said, I'm a sucker for World War I, World War II, just, older, based in history movies, so I gave 1917 an A+.
What's
Maybe
a one-shot?
I don't know.
That's crazy. Yeah, honestly, I was going into this movie expecting some fucking peak war shit with the way, I saw some review numbers about it, and I've heard about it before when it was coming out.
Yeah, I heard good things about this film.
It was substantially slockier than I expected it to be.
As a theater experience, this one gets bumped up quite a bit.
I'm sure this felt a lot cooler to watch in theaters.
Yeah.
On my fucking little TV, it wasn't the most immersive experience ever.
ranks.
Are we ready for ranks?
I guess we're ready for rankings. So Dylan gives him an A+.
Sounds about right. He did notice it was a one-shot then.
Yeah.
I gave it a B- personally.
Ah, damn. I'm not the lowest this time. I'm a B.
Okay. We're a bit all over the board again. I'm at an A-.
Okay.
A-, and that lands it at a B+ overall.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Another one to the pile, as they say.
Typical.